Remember Lara Flynn Boyle? In the late 1990s and early 2000s, she was one of those faces you simply couldn't miss. From her memorable role in Twin Peaks to appearances in films like Men in Black 2 and the legal drama The Practice, Lara had a presence that perfectly fit the classic Hollywood mold. Her look was delicate, yet striking high cheekbones, expressive eyes, and a refined elegance that made her stand out on screen. Many believed she had the kind of timeless beauty that could easily carry a long, steady career in film and television. But somewhere along the way, things began to change. Over the years, observers and media outlets started speculating that Lara had undergone a number of cosmetic procedures. Rumors often pointed to possible nosework, lip fillers, and other facial treatments designed to smooth wrinkles and maintain a youthful appearance. Like many performers in an industry that prizes youth, the goal may have been simple: preserve the look audiences had come to love. However, the results sparked widespread discussion. When Lara appeared at public events in later years, many longtime fans were surprised by how dramatically her appearance had evolved. Her facial structure seemed tighter and fuller, and the subtle softness people once associated with her look appeared altered. The irony many commentators noted is that attempts to hold on to youth can sometimes transform the very features that once made someone unique. Lara Flynn Boyle's story has often been cited as a reminder of how powerful and sometimes unpredictable cosmetic changes can be in the world of celebrity. Joan Van Ark was one of television's most beloved faces during the 1970s and 1980s. Best known for her long-running role as Valene Ewing on the hit primetime drama Knots Landing, she became a familiar presence in millions of American living rooms. Joan had a gentle, almost angelic quality on screen. Soft features, bright eyes, and a warm smile that conveyed sincerity and vulnerability. Audiences connected with her deeply, and her performance helped make Knots Landing one of the most successful television dramas of its era. As the years passed, however, the pressures of Hollywood's obsession with youth began to weigh heavily on many performers of her generation. Reports and public speculation suggested that Joan gradually turned to cosmetic procedures in hopes of preserving her youthful appearance. It reportedly began with a rhinoplasty in the early 1990s, a subtle change that initially attracted little attention. But over time, more procedures were believed to follow, including facelifts, eyelid surgery, and injectable treatments. Little by little, observers noticed her appearance evolving. The natural softness that once defined her look seemed to give way to tighter skin and more rigid expressions. By the early 2000s, Joan's changing appearance had become a frequent subject in tabloids and entertainment commentary. As high-definition television and cameras became the norm, every detail was suddenly easier for the public to scrutinize. In recent years, Joan Van Ark has maintained a quieter public profile, yet her story is often discussed as part of a larger conversation in Hollywood, a reminder of how powerful the pressure to stay forever young can be, and how even beloved stars sometimes struggle against the unstoppable passage of time. When people hear the name Goldie Hawn, it often brings back a wave of warm memories. For more than 5 decades, she has been one of the most joyful and recognizable personalities in American entertainment. From her breakout comedy work in the late 1960s to beloved films throughout the 70s, 80s, and beyond, Goldie built a career on something that couldn't be manufactured: pure, infectious charm. Her bright blue eyes, carefree laugh, and playful energy made audiences feel like they were watching someone genuinely enjoying every moment on screen. That natural warmth became her signature. Whether in comedies or heartfelt roles, Goldie had an expressive face that carried emotion effortlessly. It was never just about beauty, it was about personality shining through every smile and raised eyebrow. But as the decades passed, the pressure to maintain a youthful appearance in Hollywood touched even someone as beloved as Goldie. Over the years, observers began to speculate that she experimented with cosmetic treatments such as facial fillers or Botox procedures. Many performers quietly try as they age. The intention, as with many stars, was likely to maintain the vibrant look audiences had known for years. By the mid-2000s, some fans began noticing subtle differences in her appearance at public events and on camera. High-definition photography made every detail more visible than ever before, and discussions about cosmetic enhancements became common across celebrity media. Despite the speculation, Goldie Hawn has continued to appear in films and public events, still carrying the playful spirit that made audiences fall in love with her decades ago. For many longtime fans, she remains a symbol of the carefree humor and optimism that defined an earlier era of Hollywood. For more than half a century, Kenny Rogers was one of the most recognizable voices in American music. With his warm storytelling style and unmistakable raspy tone, he became a legend in country and pop crossover music. Songs like The Gambler, Lucille, and Lady made him a household name, while his calm presence and silver-bearded look gave him the image of a wise, rugged storyteller. Fans admired not just his music, but the authenticity he carried on stage and in interviews. But even icons are not immune to the pressures that come with fame and aging in the public eye. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, Kenny decided to undergo cosmetic procedures in hopes of refreshing his appearance. Like many celebrities at the time, the idea was simple: smooth a few lines and maintain a youthful look for the camera. He later revealed that he had undergone a facelift along with eyelid surgery. Unfortunately, the results were not what he expected. The procedures altered the natural character of his face, tightening his features and raising his brows in a way that felt unfamiliar even to him. Fans who had grown used to the weathered, masculine look that defined Kenny's image noticed the change almost immediately. To his credit, Kenny Rogers spoke openly about the experience later in life. In interviews, he admitted he regretted the decision, explaining that he had only wanted to look a little younger, but ended up losing some of the natural character that made him recognizable. Despite that chapter, his legacy remained untouched. Until his passing in 2020, Kenny Rogers was remembered not for cosmetic changes, but for the timeless music and stories that defined generations of American listeners. For many television viewers, Simon Cowell has long been one of the most recognizable figures in entertainment. As the outspoken judge behind global hits like The X Factor and America's Got Talent, he built a reputation for his blunt honesty, sharp humor, and unmistakable on-screen presence. With his simple black t-shirts, confident demeanor, and raised eyebrow of skepticism, Simon became a defining face of modern reality television. But in the early 2020s, the conversation around Simon began shifting away from his critiques and toward his appearance. Fans watching interviews and television appearances noticed that his face looked dramatically different from the one they had known for years. The skin appeared unusually smooth and tight, and his expressions sometimes seemed more limited than before. Online discussions and media outlets quickly began speculating about cosmetic treatments, including facial fillers and other aesthetic procedures that had become increasingly common in celebrity circles. Simon himself later addressed the issue with surprising honesty. In interviews, he acknowledged that he had experimented with various cosmetic treatments and eventually felt he had gone too far. He explained that at one point, even photographs of himself no longer looked quite right to him. One story that reportedly had a strong impact on him involved his young son, Eric. According to Simon, moments like that made him reflect more seriously on the changes he had made. Over time, he decided to scale back many of the treatments and instead focus on healthier habits, including improved diet, fitness, and simpler skincare routines. In recent years, many viewers have noticed that Simon appears more relaxed and natural again. His experience has become a reminder that even someone known for judging others can learn powerful lessons about balance, aging, and staying true to oneself. Growing up as part of one of the most famous families in entertainment history, Toya Jackson spent much of her life in the spotlight. As the sister of pop legend Michael Jackson, she was surrounded by fame, media attention, and constant public scrutiny from an early age. The Jackson name opened doors, but it also brought endless comparisons and expectations. Every appearance, every performance, and every photograph was examined by fans and tabloids alike. As LaToya built her own career in music and television during the 1980s and 1990s, conversations about her appearance gradually became part of the public narrative. Over the years, observers noted noticeable changes to her facial features, and media outlets frequently speculated about cosmetic procedures. Like many performers in the entertainment industry, the pressure to maintain a flawless image in front of cameras may have played a role in those decisions. Early changes reportedly included rhinoplasty, a procedure that many celebrities have chosen in hopes of refining their look on screen. In the years that followed, commentators suggested she may have undergone additional enhancements, such as facial fillers and other cosmetic treatments. As time passed, fans sometimes remarked that her appearance seemed increasingly different from the fresh-faced look audiences remembered from her early career. Because LaToya and her brother Michael both experienced highly publicized changes to their appearance, comparisons between the two were often unavoidable in the media. For some observers, their stories became part of a broader conversation about the pressures faced by members of the Jackson family who lived much of their lives under extraordinary public attention. Today, LaToya Jackson remains a recognizable figure in pop culture, a reminder of how fame, family legacy, and the constant glare of the spotlight can shape the choices celebrities make over time. For generations of music lovers, Dolly Parton has been far more than just a country singer. She is a cultural icon, the unmistakable voice behind classics like Jolene, I Will Always Love You, and countless other songs that helped define country music for decades. With her towering blonde hair, sparkling outfits, and bright smile, Dolly created an image that is instantly recognizable anywhere in the world. Yet behind the glamour is a performer who has always approached fame with remarkable honesty and humor. Unlike many celebrities who prefer to avoid questions about cosmetic procedures, Dolly has often spoken openly about her choices. Over the years, she has acknowledged undergoing several enhancements, including breast augmentation, facial procedures, and other cosmetic treatments. For Dolly, these decisions were never meant to be a secret. Instead, she treated the topic with the same playful wit that has long been part of her personality. One of her most famous remarks captures that spirit perfectly. Dolly once joked, "It takes a lot of money to look this cheap," and in another interview she laughed, "I look completely artificial, but I'm completely real." Rather than denying or hiding her enhancements, she embraced them as part of the larger-than-life image she created for the stage. What makes Dolly stand out is that she has never pretended to be something she isn't. In an industry that often pressures stars to maintain an illusion of effortless beauty, Dolly chose a different path, one built on transparency and self-awareness. Even today, well into her later years, Dolly Parton continues to perform, create music, and inspire audiences. Her legacy reminds fans that authenticity and confidence can shine far brighter than any attempt at perfection. Jessica Alves is one of the most widely discussed figures in the world of extreme cosmetic transformation. Born in Brazil, she first became known to the public for pursuing an ambitious goal, transforming her appearance to resemble what she once described as a real-life doll. Over the years, that pursuit led to a long list of cosmetic procedures and surgeries. By her own estimates shared in interviews, she has spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on various treatments ranging from facial contouring and multiple rhinoplasties to body sculpting procedures. During the height of her media attention in the 2000s, Jessica's dramatic physical changes frequently made headlines. Photographs documenting her transformation circulated widely in entertainment media, sparking both fascination and concern. Each procedure brought her closer to the carefully designed look she envisioned, but it also raised questions about the physical risks associated with repeated surgeries. At one point, those risks became alarmingly real. After undergoing a cosmetic procedure involving nasal reconstruction, Jessica reportedly suffered a serious infection that required urgent medical treatment. The experience served as a frightening reminder of how dangerous surgery can become when complications arise. In interviews afterward, she spoke openly about the health scare and the difficult recovery that followed. In 2020, Jessica publicly came out as a transgender woman and began a new chapter of her life, adopting the name Jessica Alves. Since then, she has continued to share her story publicly, discussing both the emotional journey and the medical challenges she has faced. Today, Jessica often uses her platform to talk about the pressures surrounding beauty and identity. Her journey has become a powerful and sometimes cautionary story about the risks, realities, and deeply personal motivations behind the pursuit of physical transformation. In the 1990s, Linda Evangelista was one of the defining faces of the supermodel era. Alongside a small group of elite models, she dominated fashion runways, magazine covers, and advertising campaigns around the world. With her striking features and remarkable versatility in front of the camera, Linda became a symbol of high fashion at its peak. She once famously said she wouldn't get out of bed for less than $10,000 a day, a quote that perfectly captured the influence and confidence of that legendary generation of models. For years, Linda seemed to embody the glamour and power of the fashion industry. But in the mid-2000s, a medical procedure unexpectedly changed the course of her life. Hoping to reduce small areas of body fat without surgery, she underwent treatments using a popular technology known as cool sculpting, a non-invasive procedure designed to freeze and eliminate fat cells. Instead of the intended results, Linda experienced a rare complication known as paradoxical adipose hyperplasia. Rather than shrinking, the treated areas became enlarged and hardened, leaving visible changes to her body. The experience was deeply distressing, and Linda later explained that the condition made her feel brutally disfigured. For several years, she withdrew from public life and avoided the spotlight while coping with the emotional and physical aftermath. In recent years, however, Linda Evangelista has begun speaking openly about what happened. By sharing her experience, she has helped raise awareness about the potential risks that can exist, even with procedures widely marketed as safe and non-invasive. Her story serves as a powerful reminder that even the most celebrated figures, people once seen as the very definition of beauty, can face unexpected consequences in the ongoing pursuit of physical perfection. Before becoming a well-known television personality and reality TV star, Lisa Rinna made a cosmetic decision that would shape her public image for decades. In the mid-1980s, when she was still very young and beginning her career, Lisa chose to enhance her lips with silicone injections. At the time, the fuller look gave her a distinctive appearance, and over the years, those lips became one of her most recognizable trademarks. As Lisa rose to fame through television roles, and later through shows like Days of Our Lives and reality television appearances, her bold, dramatic lips became part of her brand. Fans immediately recognized her look, and the feature helped set her apart in an industry where standing out can make all the difference. However, cosmetic procedures can sometimes have long-term consequences. After many years, Lisa began experiencing complications related to the silicone injections. The material formed firm scar tissue in parts of her lips, which caused discomfort and altered their natural texture. In 2010, she underwent surgery to remove some of the hardened tissue. The procedure helped relieve the pain, though it could not completely restore her lips to their original state. To her credit, Lisa Rinna has spoken openly about the experience. In interviews over the years, she acknowledged that some of the treatments she tried did not turn out the way she had hoped. Her willingness to discuss both the benefits and the regrets of cosmetic procedures has resonated with many fans. Today, Lisa's story highlights the complicated relationship between beauty standards, personal choices, and the pressures of maintaining an image in the entertainment industry, a reminder that even small decisions made early in life can echo for decades.